You may have seen in our How to Get Pirate Legend video the kind of general ways to level up your factions, not individually but as a group, and move them up together by doing Flameheart, Skullfort, Fort of the Damned, Skeleton Fleets and whatnot. However, in today's video we're going to be going over the individual merchant based ways to level up your merchant faction. Now, the reason why we have decided to do this video is because a lot of you have actually been asking for it in our streams over on Twitch. We've had quite a few of you actually coming in saying, how do I get my merchant up? How do I get Pirate Legend? I just need to do merchant. And we just figured, you know what? Why don't we make a series on how to do Gold Hoarder, Order of Souls and Merchant? So that's what we're going to be bringing you today. The first episode of the series of how to level up your factions. Now, let's get straight into the video and head on into the first method, which is doing Athenas. Now obviously, in order to do this, you're going to need to have a current Pirate Legend friend to put down the Athena. However, the reason why these are quite good is because you get a guaranteed 8 crates for your merchant. When you start your Athena, you're going to receive 2 different maps regarding the merchant. It's going to take you to 2 different islands where you go and pick up 4 crates each from the island's NPC. It can take you to places such as sea posts, outposts and just islands in general. When you arrive at your island, you're going to need to collect your cargo from the NPCs and keep them in pristine condition. Now for the plants, this requires having 7 ocean buckets of water in the bottom of your ship, and keeping the water level up until the label on the plant box. So just so they don't get dried out and wilted and whatnot, so you get the most amount of rep and gold for selling them. Once you collect your crates, you're going to have to inspect them in order to find out where they need to be delivered, by what day and what time. Now as you can see here, I need to deliver mine to Devil's Ridge by 9 AM on the 26th. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my item radial, bring out my watch, and just below the hands on the watch you can see what the date actually is in game, and you can use that to kind of judge how close you are to needing to sell them. As you can see here, we've arrived at Crook's Hollow for one set of our cargo, and we have waterlogged crates of luxurious cloth. Now this is because we forgot that we were actually in a storm, or just on the edge of the storm. We weren't really impacted by it too much, so the cloth is actually only going to sell for 100 gold and give you the smallest amount of rep possible. And yeah, you just really want to make sure you don't ruin the cargo, because this impacts your rep and gold massively. Now as you can see, we are over at Devil's Ridge selling our pristine cargo, which is going to sell for 700 gold and give us a whole level onto our merchant rep. Now this is obviously because the account was low level in merchant, so you wouldn't actually get a whole level anyway, but it just gives you a rough idea of how much rep you may actually be earning. With that being said, we're going to move on to method 2, which is very similar, but it's just normal merchant cargo runs. Now, if you get a high level friend, which is above level 45, to put down the cargo runs, you're going to get about 7 or 8 crates every time, maybe 6 if you're unlucky. So you can do this instead of Athenas, but Athenas are just a good way to get a guaranteed 8. But yeah, it's relatively similar, except you go to one person, collect all 8 crates and take it to the same spot. It's just a lot faster than Athena's in my opinion. A good tip to know is that the first letter of the name of the person you need to collect the cargo from lines up with their occupation. So as you can see here, I have Charles. That means he's the guy working in the clothing store. Now if I had someone like Sandra, that would mean they work at the shipwright. If I had someone named Tinker, that means they work at the tool shop, you know, so on and so forth. Though it should be noted that anyone that works in the tool store is a guy, so you'll have names like Tony, and the woman behind the tavern bar is always a girl. So yeah, just use that to your advantage. Next up, we're going to be doing the exact same thing that we did for the Athenas. Just keep your cargo in pristine condition, keep your plants watered with 7 ocean buckets, keep your cloth dry, keep your rum bottles uncracked, you know, just keep your cargo in pristine condition. Now as you can see here, when we are selling our loot, we're actually only going to gain about just over a quarter of a merchant level. However, you need to bear in mind this was just using a level 1 emissary flag. None of this, or maybe a level 2 for 2 of the items. So emissary flags are the biggest thing which is going to help you in your growth. And yeah, so make sure to use emissary flags. If we were using a grade 5, we would have made a lot more reputation, possibly even a whole level. That about wraps it up for method 2. It's just a quicker way than doing Athena's, but it's also a hit or miss as you could get 6 or 7 crates, so that's why we included Athena's. But next up, we're going to be moving on to method 3, which is the brand new Lost Shipments Voyage. And oh my god, is this going to be a blessing for you new players who need to get your merchant up. For this Lost Shipment Voyage, all you're going to need to do is go to your merchant, click on the first voyage you see, which should be on the far left. If you can get someone who's a high level merchant to do this as well, you're going to be earning a lot more loot and a lot more reputation from this. So I definitely recommend looking for people, looking for someone to help you out, looking for someone to put down the voyage for you, as if you're a lower level, you're going to be getting lower quality stuff. With that being said, let's get straight into it. So go and purchase the Lost Shipment Voyage, vote to raise your emissary, put it down, and then just go about the voyage. You're going to receive a map showing you a dotted line in which the ship tried to follow. It's basically its navigation to where it was supposed to go. You're just going to follow along this line until you see some birds in the sky. Now, when you see these birds in the sky, just raise your sails or come to an anchor stop where the pile is. You should receive a couple of merchant crates to increase your reputation, and a new merchant note with a captain's key at some point. Now, this captain's key is literally the key to your merchant rep, so make sure you hold on to this. You're going to follow the trail along a little bit more, keep collecting crates along the way. It's going to take you to a couple islands at some point. But either way, you're going to want to make sure you get to the very end of the trail where the shipwreck is in the water. Now you're going to go down into the water to this shipwreck with your captain's key. Take the key to the captain's quarters, open up the captain's quarters, and lo and behold, there is all of your gorgeous loot and reputation staring you right in the goddamn face. You know, just the holy grail of reputation. Go in there, collect all your crates, drop them outside the door so they should rise to the surface hopefully, and get your loot. Now, once you have gotten all of the loot from the captain's quarters on your ship, you should be grade 5. You should be grade 5. Now, if you aren't, you're only going to be grade 4, which is fine. But if you really want to get grade 5, just go and slap down another voyage maybe. It's up to you. But either way, we're going to go and sell now. Now, as you can see here, we're selling all of the loot and we're getting a goddamn nice amount of gold. I believe we made about 40,000 for this whole 20-25 minute voyage, which is actually really nice. And sadly, while recording, the levels actually bugged and didn't show me going up. However, I went from level 8 to level 23. That's kind of incredible when you think it was just one voyage going from 8 to 23. Wow, yeah, that's kind of crazy. So yeah, with that said, let's make our way onto method 4. Not that you're gonna need it, but hey, some of you might not like the new shipment voyage. So, method 4, animals. Yep, you heard me, animals. Basically, you're going to go and purchase yourself an animal voyage from the merchant. They're going to give you some pig crates, snake crates, chicken crates, and you're going to need to go and collect animals from islands. Now, the best way and most efficient way to do this is to keep re-rolling your voyages until you get multiple golden animals. This is because the golden animals will sell for upwards of 2,000 plus the merchant emissary reputation if you already have a grade 5. So you'll get a nice amount of rep and a nice amount of gold. But yeah, that's about it really. So go to your islands, make sure you grab your animals. One thing you need to look out for is the pigs. If they start to make this sound, that means they are about to die, so you need to feed the hungry, you just need to feed him. Give him a banana or two and he'll shut the fuck up. One thing as well, keep these snakes away from your chicken and pigs as they will attack the animals and die. So you'll have to go and do the whole thing again. So I would keep the snakes away. So yeah, that's about it. When you sell them, you get a decent amount of little rep, decent amount of gold, nothing amazing. that's method 4. There's honestly not a whole lot to say about it. It's selling animals. Now, the best way to get your merchant rep up currently, I would say, is the brand new Lost Shipments. As you can tell earlier, we went up 15 levels with 20 minutes voyage. Now, that's just absolutely stupid. However, some good ways are actually doing Devil's Raw cargo. That got me to 75 in about an hour. Took me to go from 70 to 75, which wasn't bad. It's also very nice for gold. It can make some passive gold on making rep. And also doing things like Fort of the Damned. However, that wasn't included in this video, obviously, because this is merchant based, not overall kind of general things you can do. So yeah, Fort of the Damned, really good, because you get a good amount of kegs, you get ancient bone dust, which sells for an incredible amount of gold, and you can also do Flameheart, as you'll get about roughly 10 to 11 Ashes of the Damned, which sell for a decent little amount and give you a nice amount of rep, plus the Emissary. Yeah, so those are some honourable mentions. But yeah, that wraps up this video basically. If you want to get your merchant rep up, basically just do Lost Shipments and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you subscribe, I hear that your reputation actually increases by 5 times the amount, and you won't start balding until you reach your 60s. So if you don't want to go bald, subscribe. If you don't want to lose out on reputation and you want to get 5 times amount, then subscribe. That about wraps up this video. However, if you are looking for people to play with, then feel free to join our Discord, which is in the description. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.